My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC picks and DraftKings lineups run by professional fighters and MMA insiders. Every week, I join Nick Newell, professional fighter, professional model, and ESPN Top 10 guest, along with Dan Kramer, UFC fighter, Bellator fighter, Ultimate Fighter alumni, and Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. And we break down every single fight, the betting odds, the DraftKings picks, and we set you up for success. Next up at UFC 259, Blachowicz versus Adesanya, we have Rogerio Bontorin versus Kai Kara France. Another member of the city kickboxing team that Adesanya comes from. We talked about it a couple videos ago, so check that out if you want to hear our thoughts about multiple teammates fighting on one card. But this is another fun fight. They've all been fun fights. So Nick, I'll go to you. What are your thoughts on this? Are you going to go with Kai Kara France on this, given his recent surge, or what are your thoughts here?
I think Kai Kara France is a really good fighter. He's like by the book guy, hands up, moves forward, moves his head, nice and compact, can strike, decent wrestler, not the best grappler. Bontorin is very good though. He lost to Ray Borg his last fight, but Ray Borg to me is like a great fighter, very good boxing, maybe better boxing than Kai Kara France. But I feel like Kai Kara France is an all-around maybe more diverse striker than him. So it's two different styles. You look, he beat the former WSOF champ in Biglatov, and he's got some really good wins. I'm not touching it because there's just a lot of unknowns for me in this fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. It has potential to be fight of the night. It's just at these costs, I'm not really worth the risk, and I'm not 100% sure on who I think is going to win. If I had to pick, I would pick Bontorin just because the grappling edge.
Yeah, and I think you're spot on with the grappling there. So obviously Kai Kara France is the much better striker. He's the more technical striker. He's a very fluid striker, and he has, I forget the stat, I think it was like 90% takedown defense. His takedown defense is awesome. And Bontorin's a very good grappler. He's not as good of a striker, but he's a very good grappler. So, this is a traditional grappler versus striker matchup, and Bontorin's got to get it to the ground to win this fight. I just don't know if he can. I think the technical striking can keep him far enough away. And then if he does get close the distance and get close enough to grab a leg at 90% takedown efficacy, that's not going to be an easy task. So, Jacob, I'll go to you. What are your thoughts? You going in the same direction as Nick and I, or are you going to jump to the other side?
Yeah, this is a tough fight to pick because I alluded to it in the earlier video. Kai Kara France's last loss was on an Adesanya card. So that was a teammate loss. He might feel double the pressure now to be, to redeem himself almost for city kickboxing. You don't know. I think he was a big favorite. It was against Brennan Royval, and I think he was a big favorite going in that fight. If I remember DraftKings, I think I put him in my lineup. He ended up screwing me, but I'm not bitter about it. I'm not bitter about it. But he lost that fight to Brennan Royval in a weird scramble, and Royval submitted him. And Bontorin's got 11 submission wins. He is a very good grappler. I don't think he's an incredible wrestler. His takedowns almost look like just kind of muscle takedowns where he just kind of grabs someone and just kind of, he doesn't really have any trips or anything like that. But if he gets Kai Kara to the ground, it's going to be in trouble. Another thing I noticed about Bontorin too is he loves to try and catch kicks. And against a kickboxer, that can help you because there's going to be a lot of kicks coming your way, and you can catch one and get him to the ground that way. But against a skilled kickboxer, those kicks be coming at your head when you think they're coming at your body. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Kai Kara France wins by head kick. But, he better be careful not to make sure this doesn't get on the ground. So I have Kai Kara France winning. I don't have him in my lineup, but I have him winning by head kick.
Well, and if you've ever seen any Bas Rutten sort of interviews about kicks and things of that nature, it was always never throw a kick by itself, ever. It doesn't start. It doesn't finish an exchange. It's in the middle of an exchange. And I think Kai Kara France is so technical, he won't just leave a leg kick out there to get caught. But anything's possible. So Dan, what are your thoughts here? We're all going Kai Kara France. Are you in that boat also?
Yeah, I
No,
think.
I picked Bontorin.
Yeah, Nick's got Bontorin to win
all right.
Bontorin.
with the grappling edge, right? Yeah, I think Kai Kara France is going to win this fight. I think, his last fight against Brandon Royval, that first round, I mean, that was like the round of the century, the amount of output those guys had and the way they were hitting each other. So, I also think Royval is a tricky guy where he gets subs like that in scrambles, and he was kind of relatively unknown and, up until call it his last few fights. But he turned out to be really, really good. So I think Kai Kara France is going to come back stronger from that. Bontorin, I think this is a close fight. I think he has the grappling edge. I feel like the odds are about right on this, but the DraftKings costs are a little off. So $8,500 for Kai Kara France in a fight that he should win, but could be closer than we think. So I'm not going to spend the $8,500 on him, but I would bet $100 on him at -145.
Yeah, that's a great point with the DraftKings odds and the regular odds, because I actually completely agree. I mean, -145, that's saying you're a little better than a pick'em, but $8,500 is you're going to win, and hopefully by stoppage. So yeah, I completely agree, and he's not in my lineup either. Before you go, check out the description below. In there, we have links to our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, and more importantly, to our DraftKings League. Check out the league, join the league, participate in the contests, and as we get going and as you start winning, we're going to start handing out gift cards and participating and doing things like that. So check those out. Every week, there are drops on every fight card. So make sure you check out this channel and our social media on Saturday before the fights start so that you have our most updated lineups and picks.